Bell opined. Can't be much longer before they change their encryption systems and we'll have to start over. The best we can hope for is they won't do that before we break something worthwhile. Nothing else? Only questions, like where is Big Bird hiding? Not a whiff on that one. NSA has been watching every phone system in the world, to the point that it's taxing their computers. They want to buy 2 new mainframes from Sun Microsystems. The appropriation is going through this week. The weenies out in California are already assembling the boxes. Does NSA ever get shot down or underfunded? Ryan wondered. Not in my lifetime, Bell reported. Just so they fill out the forms right and groveled properly in front of the congressional committees. The NSA always got what it wanted, Jack knew. But not so the CIA. But the NSA was more trusted and kept a lower profile. Except for a trailblazer, that was. Not long after 9/11, the NSA realized its SIGINT intercept technology was woefully inadequate to handle the volume of traffic it was trying to not only digest, but disseminate. So a company out in San Diego, SAIC, Science Applications International Corporation, was hired to upgrade Fort Meade's systems. The 26-month, $280 million project called Trailblazer went nowhere. SAIC was then awarded a $360 million contract for Trailblazer's successor. The waste of money and time had sent heads rolling at the NSA and damaged its otherwise untarnished image on Capitol Hill. Execute Locus, though still on track, was not yet out of the beta stage, so the NSA was supplementing its intercept computers with Sun mainframes, which, though powerful in their own right, were tantamount to sandbags holding back a tsunami. Worse still, by the time Execute Locus comes online, it will have already started down the hill toward obsolescence, thanks mainly to IBM's Uber computer, Sequoia. As tech-savvy as Jack liked to think himself, Sequoia's capacity was mind-boggling. Faster than the world's top 500 supercomputers combined, Sequoia could perform 20 quadrillion mathematical processes per second, a statistic that could be grasped only by reductive comparison. If each of the 6.7 billion people on Earth was armed with a calculator and worked together on a calculation 24 hours a day, every day of the year, it would take more than 3 centuries to do what Sequoia will do in 1 hour. On the downside, Sequoia wasn't quite ready for prime time. At last report, it was being housed in 96 refrigerators covering more than 3,000 square feet. As big as a good-sized 2-story house, Jack thought. Then, wonder if they're getting tours. Bell now asked, "So what tells you this is important?" "Why encrypt a birth announcement?" Ryan replied. "And we cracked it on their in-house key. Okay, maybe bad guys have kids in their families, but no name on the mother, the father, or the kid. It's too clinical." "True," Bell replied. "One more thing. There's a new addressee on the distribution list, and he's using a different ISP. Might be worth a look. Maybe he's not as careful with his backstops and financials as the others." So far, all of their French connection emails had come from cloaked internet service providers, or fire-and-forget email accounts with nothing but a ghost at the other end. And since all originated from overseas providers, the campus had little way of prying back the floorboard. If the French were in the loop, they'd simply walk into the internet service provider and pull up his account information. They'd at least get his credit card number, and from that they'd get the address the credit card bill goes to every month, unless it was a falsely backstopped card. But even then, they'd be able to launch a tracking operation and try to start gathering pieces.